Okay. We are live, people. Welcome to Chat Her Up.
Up and up and up and up and up.
Oh,
Hey y'all.
I didn't. Welcome to Chatter Up. I'm sorry, I'm playing audio. I was listening to Andy talk about what happened with Kenya.
Oh,
He,
he spoke on it?
hmm on his podcast. We'll get to it. Hi, Kevin.
Hey,
Um,
Kevin.
But anyway, welcome to Chatter Up. Today we're going to recap Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 5, which was titled About Last Night. Today it's just me and Callie. I'm assuming that Dee and Montique are going to pop in. While we're going to go ahead and start off with the chapstick moment of the day. I'm gonna go ahead and give that to Callie. Chapstick moment is just, what's the gossip of the week? Go ahead, Callie.
Yeah, gossip are interesting topics or topics that are not so interesting. But I wanted to talk about this briefly, just because it's pretty important, I would say. Teddy Mellencamp. You
Mm.
guys heard what she's going through right now?
Yeah, I had brain cancer.
Yeah, so she's been diagnosed with brain cancer. I guess that was in January.
She's from for
And
those. I'm sorry, what franchise is she from? Go ahead.
Beverly Hills Housewives. She's been off of there for a few seasons now, but she pops
Mhm.
in every now and again when Kyle doesn't want to be by herself. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm. And so she made that announcement in January. And now, unfortunately, she has stage 4 cancer. She revealed that last week. Her doctors found 4 more tumors in her brain. And Mellencamp previously shared her melanoma had metastasized to her brain and her lungs.
Yeah.
So it's pretty serious. But the reason I just wanted to mention it, this is one way to know if these reality stars are actually looking at her comments. Teddy Mellencamp sure is, because she was heartbroken to read a comment where someone says, "Oh, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but oh, it's stage 4. She won't be here long." And so Teddy is like, "You guys, that it's breaking my heart to read those type of comments."
Mm.
And I agree that it would be, yeah, that's something hard to see. You're dealing with it anyway. But now to think that people knowing you are at stage 4, they're kind of saying, well, it's done. You'll be out of here. And there you go. Because of the type of public access we have to them, especially with social media, I don't know that she could avoid comments like that. What do you think, Joy?
No, I don't. That's
Yeah.
why, one of the things that they tell you not to do is read them. Once you become a radio, I mean, a TV personality.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reality is there are people that are just cruel people. I wasn't particularly fond of her on the show, but you know,
Hmm.
I wouldn't wish ill on her
Right. Neither would I.
at all. That just doesn't make sense. Um, I don't know I listened to the podcast of Giselle and Robin from Real Housewives of Potomac, and they do their podcast on Mondays. Anyway, Giselle said that before um, Teddy made her announcement
Hmm.
that she had cancer, somebody had contacted her. It was somebody from that association that she's associated with, because if you all remember, Giselle lost her father to brain cancer.
Yes.
And when they contacted her because they wanted her
Mhm.
to be involved with this event, and they inadvertently told her about Teddy.
Right.
And it was like the day, she said she doesn't remember if it was that day or the next day, but Teddy did make the announcement. But it started from melanoma, that skin cancer,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
went to her brain, and now it's in her lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's quite sad. When you have that kind of cancer, it's hard to fight,
Yeah.
because it's moving in such a rapid pace. And she's relatively young. I don't even think she's 50, right?
No, I think she's like in her early 40s or late
Yeah.
30s. She's very young.
Yeah.
She's very young. She just had another baby, what, maybe 2 years ago? Oh, 5 years ago, actually. She has,
And didn't she just leave her husband for another man?
After 13 years of marriage, Mellencamp filed for divorce from RHOA. I don't know how to pronounce that. ARROYABE after 13 years
Yeah,
of marriage.
yeah, that,
Yeah.
that that is quite sad.
Yeah.
And Teddy has been last season. She was on what's that show I'd never seen before? The first one, OC, Real Housewives
Oh, okay.
of
Orange
what is
County.
Orange County? Yeah, I was gonna say Oceanside, right? That is Orange County. But
Yeah.
yeah, she was on a episode or two last season as well. It's just it's just sad to meet. I mean, not really meet, but when you have young people that are, not to say that it's not any less sad when it's somebody elderly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's something about it when they're so young.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
too young with young kids and just life in general to be,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. So I can understand why she wouldn't like to read those comments.
yeah.
Anyway, that was the only chat sick moment that I had. Did you want to bring up anything, Joy?
No, it that
Okay.
um no, everything that I want to mention is probably on Atlanta. So,
Okay. Yeah.
all right, so let's move on to this episode. I only have 6 points before we get to the nitty-gritty tonight. Because it wasn't this episode, I don't know how you all felt. We can go ahead and rate it, but it felt rushed.
I would rate it. I would give it a 7.
Kevin, what would you give it? Put it in the comments. Scale it 1 through 10. It wasn't. It was. It felt sloppy to me. They spent a lot of time on Kenya, which tells me they wanted Kenya done in 5 episodes.
Right.
Because usually they would stretch something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They actually ended everything in 1 episode. We never get that. We would always get a cliffhanger.
Yeah, this just felt like a season finale to me. It really did. It felt
Yeah,
like a season finale. This is it. Kenya may or may not be back next season, but it definitely felt like the end.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
So I'm
agree.
for that reason, I'm only going to give this a 6.
You're gonna give it a 6,
Yeah,
Kenya.
because it felt very rushed, and I remember thinking, "Oh, we're gonna get all of it." This, I kept looking at the time.
Wait a minute. Oh, so Kevin gave it a 6.
He gave it a 6. I
Yeah,
see.
but wait a minute. His last comment says Kenya and Brit had a meeting, like how Angie and Shamit they had a meeting.
Did they actually have one, or they
Or just
should have?
suggesting they should.
Yeah, because I agreed that I think they should have. If Brit was a real one, she would have sent text a. I mean, he would have sent, in my opinion.
Hey,
Let's go through this. Let me go
Hey
through some
D,
quick 6
how are
points
you guys
before we get to
doing?
the meat of it. Hey,
we're good.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
just 6
tired.
points. It's actually 5 before we get to Kenya.
Okay.
But let me just start with one. Was Here's a question: why did Shamia and Angela have to tell Brit that she needs to let Kenya know she wouldn't hurt her?
Wait, say it again.
Why did Shamia and Angela? It opens with
With
Shamia, Angela, and Brit over
yes,
Shamia's
Shamia's
house.
house.
Why
Yeah.
did Shamia and Angela have to tell Brit that she needs to let Kenya know that she wouldn't hurt her?
Did they not hear what she said that night? Because it
I
seemed
don't, I
like
don't think
everybody did.
Shamia did,
Okay.
because a
Yeah,
lot of them.
I don't think nobody heard it but Kelly. She was the only one standing right there with her when
But
she
she
was
claimed she
talking.
didn't.
Yeah, Kelly said she
I'm gonna
didn't
get to
hear it.
that. That's one of the questions. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's stay on this scene. Why would 2 adult women have to tell another adult woman that she needs to tell Kenya that?
Mm-hmm. She shouldn't have to. She wanted to go
Mhm.
up inside there and sit down and have them be all clappy and happy for how she drug Kenya or whatever she wants to call it. They didn't have to tell her that, but I think that's what Britt was. I think she wanted to go there and get praise from them for how she treated Kenya. That's what I think.
Exactly. I'm glad somebody else caught that. And I
Mm-hmm.
kept thinking that she thought she ate. She
Yes.
didn't realize how serious it was.
Yeah. Yeah. And
That
that's kind of scary. You can. there and casually talk the way she was talking and just think, oh, they're going to love it. She definitely was trying to get a moment.
Yeah. And that's the part that bothers me. And this is, if Brit was a real one, she should have, considering allegedly this was the next day. That was the whole point, that this was the very next day. Before she stepped that day when she left Shamia's house, in my opinion, she should have, even if they had a group text, she should have sent the group text, or if she had Kenya's number, she should have sent Kenya a text saying, I was tripping. I'm really, really sorry. Whatever you give me is whatever I'm going to take, but I went too far. I was tripping. When you mention shooting somebody, these are not kids. Like, I expect that kind of behavior from kids. And kids today, I was talking to Demisio last night. I said she was capping. We would call it fronting. Because this is also a girl that in real time, after Kenya did what she did, she posted that she would never threaten anybody with a gun.
Yeah. So, and it's like, you just did.
And I'm going to get to that too, because I also think something else is going on with this production. And I'll tell y'all what it is.
Yeah.
When I get to it. But in real time, this girl is denying Kenya's claim.
Mm-hmm.
And we have proof of that.
Mm-hmm.
As if Kenya is just lying, saying that she wasn't threatened with a gun.
Yeah.
Now, Kenya, she didn't say I carry it all the time, but I didn't hear her say that, but she definitely said, don't worry, I got my pistol.
Yeah, and that's a threat. I don't care how she wants to make it sound like it was something different. That's exactly what she meant when she said that. She wants Kenya to know, don't get too crazy. I have a pistol that I will use.
Exactly. And then would claim in real time on social media that she ain't never even handled a gun, that she don't have one, and that she hasn't handled one. Like, girl, why you fronting? When I tell you that kind of behavior burns me. With kids, because I see teenagers front like that all the time.
Yeah, but I wonder what she said to Bravo to make Bravo be okay that she's still on the show.
And allegedly, Bravo did an investigation.
Yeah, what kind of investigation was that? So, I mean, they probably asked her about it. She said, no, I don't have a gun with me. Okay, we believe you, and they let her on the show. Do you think that Jeffrey Dahmer would have admitted that he likes to eat humans? He would have lied and said, he would have lied and said, no, I don't like to eat people. I just stick to the regular animals or whatever. So, really?
Oh, she definitely, Kevin, was a fan before the show. I started off saying that. I don't know if y'all go back to the first episode when we reviewed it. I said she's a fan. She's a fan. She been sitting at home. Portia said it again in her confessional. This girl sitting at home watching Kenya, and she's offended by Kenya asking, are you married? Because her ring does look like an engagement ring. She doesn't have the second piece. She doesn't have a wedding band. So that is a logical question for a stranger.
And she didn't say it in a way that I felt or anyone else felt that she was trying to be threatening or jokey about it. She was really asking a question.
Yeah, she was weird. Like I said, she definitely didn't like Kenya, think Kenya trying to get off on her, and she's defensive. She was defensive when she walked in the room.
Look at Kevin. Kevin's comment.
Yeah.
But
okay, let's go on to the next.
But yes, Joy, you did say she was a fan because me and you got into a big argument about that.
You didn't think she was?
Yes. You didn't think she was, D?
Demisio. Okay. D going back and forth. He might still be at work. Yeah, you breaking out, D.
And I would.
Yeah, you breaking up bad.
Go
ahead. Yeah, you breaking up. You just in a bad spot. We're gonna keep going. But yeah, I told y'all she was a fan. You can pick out fans because you come in thinking you know somebody. It's just like if and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan. I'm a real fan. I would think I know a little bit about them, but I would try to get to know them because to me, I would feel privileged to be in their space. So, and Kenya would be one I really wouldn't want to be on her first bad side, especially first season.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a scary fandemonia going on here. I mean, she just kind of jumped at Kenya. Like, this is what she's been waiting now ever since she heard, I'm going to be on the show. Whereas Kenya, let me take her down.
Right.
And she ended up looking stupid. And I wish it had, well, I was about to say, I wish it had stayed that way. Not that it doesn't, but, you know, once you see everything that happens, maybe things should have been done differently. She's definitely a fan. I don't think she should be able to come back next season at all. And it just irritates me that Bravo allowed her to stay.
Yeah, we're going to get to that because I do think that that's a major issue.
Yeah.
And it's not just with them. It's some other stuff as well.
Yeah. Hi, Montique.
Hey. I didn't realize what time it was.
Oh.
I'm glad you I logged in as you, I think, and that's the only reason I can see the comments.
Oh, so you can't see them. Okay.
Kevin, because we wouldn't see in your comments, and so Montique joined to show them. Okay, there you go.
All right, point 2. Kelly saying,
"Oh, Missy out here too." Hold on, let me.
Kelly saying that she didn't hear anything about pistols. That kind of bothered me. Maybe she wasn't paying no attention. How
or is it because she's a lying liar who lies?
I don't get liar.
Kelly was standing right there. Kelly was standing right
there. But there was other things going on. Drew talking about where can I set this box down at. The other chick up there talking about where's my husband. So maybe she wasn't focused on whatever.
She was standing right there when she said it. No way. No.
And she was yelling at the top of her lungs. Just to kind of put this in perspective, Kenya heard her.
Mm-hmm.
Who wasn't near her the second time specifically. She was right behind her.
Yeah, she said it twice.
She said it twice.
But she was listening. Kenya was listening because she had just left an argument with the girl. She was listening.
But Kelly was standing right there. There's no way she didn't hear her. There's no way.
Love you too, Kevin. Love you too.
Yeah.
Sorry. Kevin said he loved me, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you would think that the other ladies heard it, but they say they didn't. I don't know why they would lie about it. Just to get out of not holding them accountable.
Does she talk weird? Because LaToya said she doesn't understand the lady.
You don't understand
her nose. And she has this, and she got this fake accent, and she talks sings.
Wait a minute, who are we talking about?
Nasal Edie. Nasal Edie.
Or Kelly?
Nasal Edie.
Nasal Edie. That's the name. Because I was like, is she squeezing her nose or what?
No, she got a bad nose job, and she talks sings. Mia does too. So when she talks like this, and
girl,
one of the syllables of whatever word.
Oh my God, you sound just like her.
It. And it almost looks like because you could tell that it's not natural because her bottom jaw moves, so it looks like she has dentures.
Oh my God, Jory, it do look like she got dentures at that bottom row.
It looks like because that's not her natural way to her mouth move.
Wait a minute, Brit looks like she has dentures. Let me go look at the picture because I'm.
If you're just looking at her genuinely, you don't see.
She got to be talking.
Especially that specific confessional with the black.
Mm-hmm.
With who?
With the black on, not the one where she got the bob, but the one where she got the bun. You can tell real clear with that one.
Uh-oh.
I can't believe y'all ain't peeped that. Yeah, like I've known girls that they don't want to sound Southern. They don't want to really show their accent for whatever reason. It just is what it is. I grew up in the South. So I would meet girls like her that I wanted to create it's almost like a Southern voice.
I call it a fake voice.
she definitely has a fake voice.
And Quad is from Tennessee, so
Yeah, she's
I think she's an
country.
example. And she may not be nasally, but
Yeah,
she has a voice that's not hers.
she has just created this persona,
Yeah,
and she wants to present it, but you have to get her mad in order to hear her
Yeah.
real voice.
and then the
Yeah.
other
When
girl,
she was
what's her name from Bell
clean,
Collective?
that
Remember when
was
she
her
got
real
mad, her voice changed? I can't think of her
Yes,
name. Tambry?
yes,
Oh, temperature, yeah.
yes.
Yes, honey.
Now she was
Mhm.
very nasally too.
She was, and then she got mad at somebody, and she went like sister girl, like for real. We were like, oh, that's her voice.
I always
So
say I've been saying that for years. I had a
Pregnant
friend, I ain't
crocodiles
gonna say her
African.
name, who used to do that when I lived in Birmingham, and I would be like, "That's the real you." She hated when I said that.
So I didn't watch it because y'all know I'm kind of trying to. I guess I should have watched it because I didn't realize Kenya was on these because I'm kind of boycotting, but I'm still gonna do this with y'all.
Why are you
So
boycotting?
because of what happened to my Kenya Moore, but I guess I should have been
Okay.
watching it while she was on it.
Right.
Oh shoot. Okay. Maybe I can go back and watch and be part of the 7-day thing.
Okay.
And we're gonna see, but word is it declines immediately.
Like
Which
the
is
show.
why they call which is why
that's
they
what
call
Phaedra.
Phaedra. That they don't it doesn't even feel like it's going in a direction. Because Portia was supposed to leave, she came. So that's why you see Shamia inviting the girls over to a house because Portia didn't have one to invite them to. Well, she was living with Simon, but Simon derailed her. He really kind of messed her over. So she couldn't film in a house at this point. Now, to Portia's credit, she does win all of those lawsuits that Simon had against her. But I don't know how far into the season they got. I do want to say this on the point too, is that Kelly was saying when she met up with Kenya and Portia, that she didn't hear anything about the mention of pistols. We already kind of went through that, but I did want to just mention it. Point 3. Why do we know this is about Angela and her personal scene? Why do we know that Angela's mother is bipolar? Her daughter eloped, but not Charles had a baby on her. Wait a minute. Her daughter and Angela are not as close as she thinks she is.
Did keep leaving.
And my husband wondered, did she marry a girl?
Sorry, guys.
And I don't know why.
What is this Savage Boy D? Is this your new name?
No,
Did
that's
y'all
my
hear
Twitter
me?
name.
Y'all didn't hear me, did you?
No, I'm sorry. I just saw Savage Boy D and I got to look up. You know,
My
Squirrel.
husband
Okay, say it again.
My husband said, is she married? Did she marry a girl?
Talking about Brit.
Yeah, no. Angela's daughter.
Oh, yeah, she did. Didn't tell her mom that she got married, then tried to play the victim.
So
Right.
Toya's saying she likes that she knows the information, but what Joy is saying is she's just giving certain things. She's not giving the baby thing.
And
So,
if y'all notice, production is giving you clues. When Angela's son came down the steps, they didn't just call him whatever his name was. It was Angela's son.
Angela
I'm
said that the
watch
Wendy
it.
Williams thing is a lie. That's what she said
What is
now.
tell me that because I hadn't watched it. What's the Wendy Williams thing?
So
That he
on
had an outside baby.
Wendy Williams claims that she bumped into Charles and Angela one day.
Okay.
And this was after Wendy found out her ex-husband had gotten a woman pregnant. And she had left him. She said, according to Wendy Williams, that Angela walked up to her and said, "Girl, a baby ain't nothing." Or you can get past that. It's just a baby.
Oh, I think I believe that.
And Angela, according to Wendy Williams, she was like, "What? You act like this has happened to you?" But it's a video. I sent it in a group. Y'all, I don't know why y'all ain't seen it.
I mean, a lot of women, I mean, I know Melody couldn't get over it. I think if she could have, they may have still been together. I don't know, but some
And
women get over that. I don't know how, but that
and
they do.
I do want to mention this. Rashida did on Love and Hip Hop, but I think
She had a
Angela's
baby?
would have been a little bit different. Kirk had a baby on Rashida on Love and Hip Hop.
Oh my
But
God, okay.
this baby was happening right around the time that they got married. Because they haven't been married that like 9 years, and the baby is like 9,
That's
8 or
awful.
9.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but
Some
yeah,
people
Oh,
can
that's
get over
crazy.
it though. I mean, some people do feel that. I know somebody that feel the same
Yeah.
way Angela does. So
That's why I think I believe it, because some people do get over. I don't know how, because I mean, you can't be mad at the baby, but every time you see this baby, it's like a reminder. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't think I could get over it. Does she have kids also with him?
yes, they have the youngest. They have a daughter together.
Okay.
She had 2 children, 3 kids. No, she had 2. A daughter who's like 25, and she has a son that's like 11 or something, 11 or 12, something like
Wow.
that. And then he has a son that's like 9 or 10. Actually, we don't know how old he is because they didn't say his name. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't say his age. They said everybody else's age.
Yeah, she said, Angela said, wait till we find out how old he really is. Everybody really gonna be, I guess, clutching their pearls. That's what she
Oh
said
my God. So
recently.
I mean, I know it wasn't at the beginning, but how are y'all rating these episodes?
I gave this one a 6 because it felt. I don't think I've ever seen any housewives of any franchise put a scandal all in one episode. And I think they were trying to wrap up Kenya in one episode because
Mm-hmm.
Kenya got a lot of time. When I looked on the clock, there was 27 minutes, and they were at Kenya's event. And it
Wow.
was sloppy. It didn't even look like a production. And
They just threw it together.
It could have been how Kenya did it. Like there was no walk around to her salon. It was only what you saw when you walked in. Like it seemed like they should have showed like where you get your hair done, where you get your this done, where you get that done. We didn't see none of that.
I think they might have done it. They just didn't show it because I mean, we seen them with
I'm
pictures of
sure
them
they did. That's the most important part, though. That's my
cutting
point.
the
Like
ribbon and all of that other stuff. So they probably did. They just chose not to show it.
that's my
We're
point.
gonna
I'm
wrap it
sure
up.
they did do it, but they did. What's the difference if they don't show it? And it's kind of like played because Kenya did this last year. I don't know if y'all know that Kenya's shop was open last year,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
she had
they
the
didn't.
whole she had the whole soft opening at the last season.
And they didn't show it,
They
remember?
didn't show
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this season, maybe they thought this would be a great season. I don't know, but it was,
Oh, so I'm looking at some Instagram stuff. So they said that Andy Cohen talked about it on Watch What Happens Live.
yeah.
Okay, and then at the end they said based on Kenya's behavior, the decision was made to cease filming with her. That was after it was over.
Yes, that's how
Oh
it
my
ended.
God.
But it did say this season. Kevin asks, "Do we think she gonna be back?" I don't know if Kenya wants to be back. Kenya mentioned something about her and Lawrence doing a show together. I really don't have a clue, but I
Turn
do
this way right here.
feel bad that Brit, it may have gotten consequences and we don't know about it. And let me tell y'all what I think. If on Watch What's Happening Live, if y'all the first episode Portia was on, the second episode Shamia was on, the third and fourth episode it was the 2 new girls, Angela, then Kelly. Okay. The fifth episode, it would have been very natural for Brit to be on this episode on Watch What Happened Live, but she wasn't. It was Cynthia,
Oh.
which tells me maybe he doesn't want to have anything to do with her. Brit should have gotten, in my opinion, maybe hers wasn't, punishable for firing, but she should have got a consequence in their 20-year history, 20-year history. And when I'm saying, I'm talking about Housewives, because I believe OC is on their 19th or their 20th season.
Okay.
There has never been a mention of guns amongst the
I don't
ladies.
think so. Yeah.
Across the border, across every franchise. And this girl, within 3 weeks of filming, 3 weeks, Kenya said this was their third week filming. This girl is threatening her with a gun over the word peasant. That's child's play for what happens.
Are you serious?
Housewives. Yes, it was about her saying queens don't entertain peasants or play with peasants or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It was
She
something
really
of
was
that
just
way.
mad that Kenya read her. That's what it was.
And because she can't read, it blew up. And to Kenya's credit, she disengaged.
And the fact that production tried to make it seem like Brit was the one that read her was what was so crazy to me.
What? This is crazy to me.
Yeah, when you watch it, you're gonna be ticked off. Y'all know I ain't no Kenya fan, so I'm pissed off at Brit for making me take her side.
That's what somebody said somewhere, that did you show that joy where they were like, Bravo's making me like Kenya and Giselle and I don't like it. It was
yes, I saw. Yeah, I said that to y'all.
Well, I agree with him about the Giselle part, child. Because
No,
I
here
really
I
wasn't
am
side with
taking
her.
Kenya's side, and I can't stand her.
right. Somebody else said that, like, I am so upset.
Girl.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's I'll say this. Just speaking of Giselle and Robin's show, they did their podcast. I don't know if I mentioned this. Giselle said on a podcast, she said that unfortunately, bringing out your past, even if it was illicit, of sexual nature, that is part of the foolery. That's part of the toxicity. If you got a past and it was one that was, you was a sex worker, or you've done some things in that you may not be proud of as we age, that comes out. If you're a housewife, that's just a part of the toxicity is the word she used.
And speaking of
But she said nobody.
Giselle,
Wait a minute, let me finish. She said nobody expects for their life to be threatened though with a gun.
That is so true.
She said, and she was like, it's just a part of, that's the unfortunate part. Sometimes you just have to be able to embrace that. That I thought that was true.
Somebody can embrace the only housewife that.
You have to embrace your past. Your past don't define you as a person.
Y'all agree with that?
Huh?
Do y'all agree with that comment that's up there?
What is it? He seems to be the only housewife. I could agree with that, and I've always thought that. Yeah. Even through my dislike of Kenya, I've always said it repeatedly, season after season. Production doesn't like her because she always seems to get a bad edit.
Even when she wore that Native American garb, it was so many. And I know that it was kind of the times, but Monique wore it, Luann, like everybody, a lot of housewives have put on that, and she was the one that publicly got in trouble for it. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think Kenya should have. I'm not saying what she did was right, but
yeah, I think she didn't do enough. Hell,
I don't think Erica threatened to shoot Sutton though. She just said, "I'm gonna do whatever," and she said, "Or what?"
No, that's not the same, because Erica didn't threaten physical violence.
Right, that's what we're saying.
Erica, this is like if you call me a liar, verbatim. Erica said, "You ever call me a liar again, I'm coming for you." And I just assumed that was like, like she was gonna be on her every time they had a group scene, or not like
if she mentioned guns. I would agree with you.
This girl, she did threaten to hit Sutton, but that was about as close as we got to a threat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She threatened
She
to hit her.
actually mentioned pistols and whips. She mentioned
Yeah.
pistols twice. It was two separate incidents. She was walking behind her and she said, I still got my pistol though.
Yep.
And then when they got outside, she
She
was
said it
like,
again.
I don't know who you think you talking to. I got whips and pistols for that.
Oh Lord.
She looked so shady. She was musty and talking. I was like,
Callie, we can't hear you, baby.
Yeah, you went out.
You
go
got
ahead.
your hand over your mic?
I don't. Nope.
Yeah, you sound better
Okay,
now.
now you better.
Okay. Go ahead, because I don't know what I was saying.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Oh, I just wanted to say this though, because we was talking about Giselle, and every time I hear her name, I think about this. Giselle Wish, Naomi Wish. If anybody watching Real Housewives of New York, you'll understand the joke.
Naomi Wish.
Yeah, because Uber is a model, and when she was arguing with Brian was like basically trying to like come for her because I guess she was like I think she like modeled for like Dressborn and stuff like that. So she
Stop
was
it, girl.
like, she was like Naomi Wish, Giselle Wish. I was like, oh my god! And it's just every time I hear Giselle or I see Giselle on my screen, I think about that Giselle Wish, Naomi Wish.
Are you talking about Giselle Bouchon though?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
I
And
got you.
Naomi
Okay,
Campbell. She was like saying, like, girl, you ain't Giselle, you ain't
I
you're
got
not
you.
Naomi
That's
Campbell
funny.
and yeah, okay. Go ahead, Joy.
yeah, but yeah, that's it. Do you remember season 8? What does it say? Do you remember season 8? The man will threaten Kenya at the Miami trip.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
Oh,
they
and
remember
tried
he's
that.
to
about
blame
to beat
Kenya
her
for
up.
that.
They did. Mm-hmm.
And it took Candy to step up at the reunion and say, now wait a damn minute.
I
That's
did.
an excellent
I
point.
definitely think that guy was off, but I will say this: I do believe that Kenya did a lot of that because she did feel kind of jilted because she
No,
was kind of playing.
even Candy and them said
She's
they felt
correct. I'm not
unsafe.
arguing against what Candy said. I agree that it still is not okay for how he approached her. I'm not justifying his behavior. I'm just explaining Kenya's switch. It was Kenya that was like, "Come on over here." It was Kenya that was sitting around flirting with him. But
Yeah.
at some point, it was no longer funny, and he was acting kind of weird.
But that wasn't because of Kenya.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it was Kenya's. I made it clear it wasn't her fault. I'm just saying Kenya was being flirty with him.
Uh-huh.
Kenya was being over with. At some point, he kind of brushed her off. At some point, when they were on the boat,
I don't think that's how why she kicked him out.
now
I
I do remember that.
I
I
definitely
remember
think she
when they were
kicked him
on the
out
boat
because Candy and
specifically.
them said
He
that
did
he was
almost
making
like a
uncomfortable.
hand gesture to try to shut her up, and I remember thinking, he shouldn't have done that. But I think at that point, Kenya felt like, oh, this dude crazy, or he was being dismissive of her. But he had not
Mm,
done anything or said anything, but it wasn't physical. He didn't push her or anything, but he was almost like trying to shut her up.
I think King kicked him out because of the way he was talking.
Oh, well, that came later. That came a little bit later because the situation kept escalating. But
Yeah, with
that was
his
the
bad
beginning of it.
behavior.
Yeah, it was 100% his fault. I'm not blaming Kenya. I'm just saying that Kenya was turned off because he did something that probably, in my opinion, made her feel like he wasn't rejecting her because she wasn't offering anything, but she was very flirty, and I don't think he wanted to hear that from her.
Well, he needs to not go at women in such a negative way just because he don't want to talk to them.
Not arguing about that part.
Yeah,
I
well,
just
I'm
I
not
think
arguing
they're
about it. I'm
two
just saying he
separate
needs to
things.
change his ways because Kenya didn't like start a disagreement with him, whether she was being flirty or not. His attitude, I remember that perfectly. It came out of nowhere. And Sheree and them enjoyed it somehow, which I thought was foul. The only one that was on her side is Candy. And she was
And
pregnant
Kim
and ready to
feels
leave.
and Kim feels because Kim said, "Oh, he acting weird to me." Because he actually
Yeah.
said something to Candy, and that's what made Kenya kick him out. Because Candy was like, he came over there and he was like,
Right.
saying
And I'm
stuff and
pregnant.
being
Hmm.
rude.
Right. Right.
But
Okay.
anyway, move on.
Latoya, let's read this comment here. You upload sex videos and not expect them to be shared. Allegedly, a lot of this stuff was on
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
No.
Hmm.
A lot
And
of this stuff.
because of that, it
Mm-hmm,
can't. I know you have to pay for OnlyFans, but
mm-hmm,
it's still out there. People still can look at it legitimately and share it with other people. Is
mm-hmm.
that considered revenge porn?
It
I
I
don't think
think
so.
it's
can
about
be.
intent. It's always about intent. So yes.
Wow.
I mean, I think it's jacked up, but it's always about intent. If I had some pictures of my hoo-ha on
Not your
OnlyFans
hoo-ha.
and and for sale for $10, because that's how much Denise was selling hers,
Okay.
and you took them and had them in your personal stash, you'd have paid for them, you could do with them, but you can't blast them across town to try to embarrass me. And that's the
Right.
part where it becomes revenge porn. I stand on this. Had Kenya had the girls over and she was talking about those pictures and they said, you want to see, and she handed a phone, I don't think that would have been a problem. You know, she got pictures
Yeah.
all on OnlyFans, just like Sutton did. That wasn't considered revenge porn. Sutton bought that.
Sudden.
Yeah, Sutton bought the
Oh, Denise's pictures.
Denise's picture, and she was showing it to her hairdresser. She was getting her hair done.
Okay.
And that wasn't considered revenge porn. But if you're putting them on plasterboard, which is something you cannot convince me Kenya did, which tells me that whoever works for her needs to be fired because she don't have Kenya's best interest at heart. Because ain't no way you're gonna convince me she went to Kinko's
Yeah.
and glued them pictures on no poster board.
Child, you never know.
But listen, I will say this: is that why Kenya still is getting paid? Who gave? I don't think Kenya made those posters. I think one of the producers made them and handed all the information over every time they got a different email. I think the production team did that. Knowing that, is that why Kenya is still getting paid? Because she has more information on where they came from, and Bravo doesn't necessarily want that out there, because that's definitely what I heard. I think it was on Kempire.
I heard that too, that the producers knew what she was gonna do, or her
Yeah.
producers.
Yeah.
Think so.
Yes.
That's the rumor.
Yeah. It's a rumor,
Yeah.
but yeah, I really do. I think they knew what she was getting ready to do. I think they are more accountable, or should have been held accountable
Well, I don't think they
themselves.
knew she was gonna do it like that. I think they maybe just gave her the information. They didn't probably expect Kenya to go that far with it.
So who made the posters? I don't think Kenya walked into FedEx
I
copy.
mean, you just never know though. You never know what
Listen,
she could
There's
have.
no
here's the
way
deal.
FedEx can print that.
Okay,
Yeah,
here's the deal. If
I
I
was
am
thinking,
working
yeah,
behind
yeah.
that counter at FedEx and Kenya Moore walks in here with these pictures, you think I ain't picking up the phone calling TMZ? Kenya didn't do that. I don't
Child, you
believe
don't
that.
need to be at FedEx to do that. You can go buy the material and go do it at home.
Well, that's true too. I guess if you got the equipment to
Yeah,
make
now
that
that I
size
believe.
poster, okay, I can see that part. Hmm.
Yeah.
What's the next point, Joy?
I was finna read what show this. I don't agree. I don't agree on that cow. Oh, okay. Next point. Um, this Brit and Portia scene. I'm gonna tell y'all what I thought about this scene. One, I thought it was a callback. I'll start there.
Okay.
Um, a callback is in reality shows. Sometimes a situation will happen, and they'll film sometimes a whole season and realize that they need a filler. They need something else to create the narrative that they're trying to create. So they'll call you back to do a scene. And I think that scene that Portia and Brit did was a callback scene. For one, Brit was 100% accountable. And you think she would be, because they're trying to paint a narrative against Kenya. And I don't think that scene was done in real time. I just don't. Brit, in my opinion, was almost paranoid, still talking about this stupid ring I don't know why this was a problem from her. When I was watching it, I kept thinking, did Brit not ever think she was going to get married?
That's what it sounds like.
Maybe she didn't think she was deserving to be somebody's wife.
She said, no, I only been married once. I mean, yeah.
It's something that triggered her.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking, maybe she didn't think she would ever get married.
She was probably always labeled as, what do they say? They never marry the hoe or something like that.
Yeah.
But she got married. So she probably was like, no, Kenya, this is my husband. I've only had one husband. And he took me and accepted me and my squiggly nose. I mean, it's just, yeah. So I think that was her point, looking at, she wanted to somehow be respected by Kenya in a different way.
Yes, it's so weird. Because I don't know if y'all remember, even last episode, not yesterday, last week at the vote, she was walking around almost, I'm really leery about married women that flex their husbands. It's an unnecessary flex. When she was like, where's my husband that loves me? Where's my husband? It was very performative.
It really was. And usually when you get that performative about your home life ain't really all that good. So.
It was off.
Mm-hmm.
Now she wants to apologize to Kenya in that scene for being threatened. She says she was wrong a few times in that scene. And that's when I really do think that was a callback scene.
Yep. Bravo was somehow trying to justify why they allowed this girl to stay on there, knowing good and well she's out here threatening pistols in her purse.
Because they wanted to make sure they had a clear scene of Brit being apologetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I do believe that was a callback scene.
Yeah, I believe it.
It moved too quickly. It was too perfectly. And you never call Kenya, and you think it's okay to show up at her event. That's why I believe it was a callback scene, because if she was a real one, she would have done that before. Ain't no way I would have showed up at her house. I mean, at her event.
Yeah, but I think whether she had showed up or not, she still was gonna do that. I feel.
No, possibly, but she wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have been there at all. It's possible, but maybe not.
Well, technically, she wasn't there because she had already left out. So.
Yeah, she was outside. And I'm glad, you know what? I'm glad that Brit was not there to see those pictures come out like that. Because,
who knows how she would have reacted.
And a lot of people had already left. That's why I think this was at the end. I don't necessarily think she was going to do that unless she came in.
Well, I hope it was at the end, because I wondered about that actually, Joy. I'm thinking, is this the beginning of it, and this is how you?
Yeah, because they showed a lot. They showed a lot of pictures. They did a lot. Yeah, they did a lot.
The whole place cleared out.
Good.
They had pictures. They had pictures of Kenya cutting the ribbon and all that other stuff. So that had to have been the end when everybody was getting ready to leave.
I don't believe she would have done that unless she popped up. And if she had done that in another situation, it would have probably not been that, because it was the in public part, I really believe, is what got her suspended or fired. I don't know what she is.
Okay. I mean, that's possible. But why wasn't Brit fired?
I don't know why they didn't take her seriously. And according to Kenya, she went to production and asked them, and allegedly there was an investigation.
Really?
So if you're investigating me because somebody heard me say I have a gun, I'm going to tell you, oh, no, I was just talking smack. I don't have a gun. You're going to let me stay? I mean, I just think that was such a dangerous, reckless move on Bravo's part. Anything could have happened. I think she would have really triggered. You never know, because we don't know her. We don't know.
She's going to say she's new, right?
Yeah, she's new. We don't know what she did. Let's just be honest. She has been around. We don't know what she will and won't do.
True.
And they might be punishing Brit in a different kind of way as well. If y'all notice, she didn't have a personal scene this episode.
Okay.
Has she been on Watch What Happens Live?
No, I mentioned it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I thought somebody did.
Yeah, both the new girls, 2 of the 3 new girls, and Portia and Shamia. But Cynthia was on last night. No way that Brit shouldn't have been on last night.
Because Cynthia is a friend, or no?
Correct.
Okay.
So Joy, what did Cynthia say? Or what did Andy say? You said what did Andy say about Kenya's event?
First of all, he praises how beautiful it is, and he mentioned that again last night on his on his podcast today. He also mentioned it, and he basically said that pretty much what he said last night. She wasted, you know,
He agreed with her.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, she felt like she wasted, her valuable. Like this was a big deal for her. Kenya been trying to get this off for a minute.
Yeah,
This was supposed to be your episode, your shine. This was your big She by Sheree.
and it was a real, but not like Sheree's.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you let this, and I'ma say it how I thought it. You let this probably one season nobody come in and throw you completely off your game. Whoever your people are, you need to fire them because no way they should have let you do that. You did not eat
A thing.
You did not eat, Kenya. And I hate that.
But somebody may have possibly have told her not to do it, and she was like, "No, I'm still doing it."
You think
you gonna learn tonight? You gonna learn tonight? Shut up! Oh, that little girl gets on nerves.
You're better than me because I would have turned around and been like, "Learn what?
Exactly. What you teaching? We don't want to learn them kind of things."
In the words of Karen Huger, I don't need what you say. I already know, honey. I don't need a lesson, love, and you can't teach it.
So next week we got to watch this nasal girl with the fake accent play victim.
Wait a minute. Have they shown a preview?
No, and that was something else they didn't do. The way that they ended this episode with the words coming up saying that they have decided to cease filming with Kenya, and it specifically said this season, and then it just went black.
Yeah, wow.
They didn't even show a preview.
The other, and they have
no. Did y'all see Kelly's post?
Who?
Yes, I did.
What was it? What she say?
Basically, she said she didn't say this, but I'm just paraphrasing it. Defending somebody and actually, basically getting to know them and realizing why don't nobody like her.
Oh, y'all. So I just hopped on Instagram and I just seen they post that said, no matter how you feel about what Kenya did tonight on Real Housewives of Atlanta, remember no one got fired after this altercation. It's a picture of when Danielle hit Jennifer with the damn cup.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Listen.
But that is still a little different.
Well, okay. So no matter what, Kenya showed some pictures she shouldn't have shown. Outcomes are totally different with the picture.
Because this season has led up to this so far. With me, I have my special guest hosts, and I'm so glad to have them here. Hey, Cortez. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm listening to.
What are y'all listening to?
I'm not listening to anything.
I thought y'all was playing something here. I don't know what that is.
Demecia? Oh, he turned off his mic.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I don't know where we left off at.
But yeah, it's weird. I don't know why she didn't. She could be getting punished. It just may be in subtle ways because she did not have a personal scene this episode at all. She in the scene, huh?
You think that girl will be back?
I heard ain't nobody messing with her but Portia. Oh, and I also get that picture that we saw of Brit and Portia. That was of that scene.
Okay. So that was a long time ago?
Yeah, that was of that scene.
Because I did wonder, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, because that was a nice friend, girlfriend sitting there taking photos. So I really want to know, first of all, why do y'all think everybody fell out with Brit?
Well,
I want to know the
Because
answer
they
to that.
realized that she
Baby,
was a
right?
piece
Or
of
was that something else?
trash.
it's
Wait
a
a minute.
whole. I think it's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on
Yeah, I
because
heard she said something about Shamia's baby.
she
Oh,
falls
I heard.
out
Oh,
with
okay.
Kelly first.
Now, her and Kelly, if you think about I think it was the second episode when they were at Kelly's home. They sat there talking about each other's lives. They were shedding a few tears, as if they knew each other ahead of time and they were friends when they came on the show. You mean to tell me that they're not getting along right now? What
Yeah,
is really going on
I
with
heard
Brit?
about that because Shamia mentioned that in one of the interviews that she got when they were talking about Brit because
Mm-hmm.
Shamia had mentioned that she wished Kenya was there, and she was like, "You fell out with Brit too." He said she fell out with Kelly, and then she looked at me and was like, "And then you." She was like, "What I do? I was just collateral damage." And then she started talking about her daughter, her youngest.
Yeah.
So she just a mean female dog.
I hate it.
And we're not, when
I mean,
I
did
don't
y'all
think we're
not see the
surprised.
preview when she called Kelly a little hobbit? Did y'all not see
No,
that?
she
She called
didn't.
Kelly a hobbit?
I
I
cannot believe
did.
y'all didn't see that.
I
Yes.
did. Yeah. So she's not a nice person.
This is
And so,
horrible.
yeah. But I thought it was disheartening last night when Cynthia was on Watch What's Happening Live, and she told Andy that she hasn't seen Kenya since that night.
How do you think
Yeah.
she responded to Kenya?
She
With the
didn't agree
little
with it.
speech. Yeah, she didn't agree with it, but how do you think if they're really friends, which we've seen them kind of go back and forth, but for the most part, they're real friends or were. Do you think she should have supported her more?
I don't have a problem with what Cynthia said to her because it's real. It's real. What she did was
Right.
flat out wrong. So I
Yeah,
don't have
Cynthia
a
wasn't
problem with that.
wrong.
But it's just like Nene said when she specifically talked about years ago on Watch What's Happening Live. She was like, when you have a friend and y'all have she don't agree with you about one thing or another, she can cuss you out, say you was wrong, but you don't go over there and then start entertaining with the ops.
Right.
And that's the problem.
And that's what Cynthia did, right?
And that's what Cynthia did. Because those women could have banded together and been like, I'm not filming with you. I don't want to film with nobody that's threatening me with a gun.
Right.
They could have banded together. Especially for somebody that you've known for 3 weeks.
We're gonna go.
Something is Callie, you rubbing up against something.
Am I okay? Are y'all watching next week, or are we gonna go ahead and consider this episode last night, the season finale?
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm watching.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not watching, but I'll be with y'all.
I'm watching.
Y'all just tell
My
me.
I
daughter
think
said
you
she
should
ain't
watch
watching no
T.
more
It's
yet.
really good.
I'm not watching it, but I will not report. What we doing? Review with y'all.
Did we talk about Angela and her daughter?
A little bit.
Talk
What
about
you
it.
want to say?
I have a few questions. Okay, she's 24.
Mm-hmm.
She is married.
Okay.
To borrow a car from grandma's that her mom bought.
It went away. Can I not hear?
Huh?
I
Go
can hear
ahead.
you.
She went to borrow the car from grandma that her mom bought. Then she moved out of the house. Then she got married, and she's 24. Does it sound? Does that sound like a 24, 25-year-old? Sounds like she's a lot, yeah, like a teenager. No?
I can't hear you, Kelly.
You can hear me? Nobody
Now.
I
can?
can hear.
Oh my God, if y'all knew how close to the phone my mouth is. I felt like the girl was a teenager considering everything that they were talking about. She had to borrow a car. she moved out the house because I guess she didn't want to be responsible for something. And now she's married without
I'm
telling
gonna
her
head out, you
mom.
guys.
Okay.
It just
Okay.
So I
seems
can
weird to me.
shower and
I felt
stuff.
like that was a teenager.
Bye.
Bye.
Are we done?
Almost.
Callie's
Go ahead.
talking, but go
I
ahead.
listen.
Okay.
I'm with you, Callie. Just go ahead.
I just felt like she was not. It didn't sound like she was talking to an adult daughter. Am I the only one that thought that? Or you
No,
guys didn't trip?
she's very immature.
Yeah, something was way off to me. I'm like, she's 24, and
Yeah.
you're borrowing a car, and you married, so which means your husband don't have a car for you to drive. Something is just was off about that whole little situation, and
Yeah.
I just thought it was really weird. I don't know if we'll have answers, but it was weird to me. 24, 25.
Yeah.
So
She doesn't seem like, that's an unfortunate situation that so many Black people have when you have generational wealth. These kids, they don't feel like they have to hustle because they've always had their parents back. I see it. I've been noticing it a lot. You see it on Married to Medicine with Simone and her two boys.
yes. Oh,
You see it you see it with Nene and her kids. You seen it with Sheree. You know, your mama out here hustling, trying to provide for you all this great life. But we inadvertently kind of spoil our kids to the point where they feel like they ain't got to do nothing. Because
Joy, you saying that? Go ahead.
Nothing. I just feel like in a way we do our kids a disjustice because they almost take steps backwards. So all that
You
we
saying
had,
that?
Mm-hmm.
You saying that made me think of Dr. Heavenly's and her son's situation right now.
Now somebody said that she said that wasn't true.
Said if it happens, she don't know nothing about it. Huh?
They say it's a case number out there. I haven't looked it
Stop
up.
It is. There's a case number. There's signatures on there. There's dates and times on there. And she's saying it didn't happen. Her babies don't have that kind of money. They'd be in jail because they don't have money out. She said it never happened. If it did, she knows nothing about it.
So, y'all believe her?
If people are,
I don't know.
I don't. I just, if people are really out there signing court type papers and it's fake, we have a bigger problem. So I actually do believe it to be true, and Heavenly, of course, just doesn't want to accept it. I could be wrong, but it's scary to think
She's a
that
liar.
people are out there doing paperwork, court paperwork, claiming something is true when it's not. I hate to think that people are doing that.
I hope they wasn't.
Heavenly also said, I don't know how true this is, that on the reunion they didn't mention the Scott situation. That apparently Scott was in a hotel with some woman.
Oh, I heard that.
For whatever reason, he calls Quad on the phone.
What?
And asks Quad, how can he keep this out of the blog?
So why did he call Quad?
Girl, I'm just telling you what Heavenly
said. You believe that?
Heavenly lies a lot, but I don't know.
She does. She does lie a lot. But Quad. So why would you? So in other words, he thinks Quad has some extra special connections or something, or
who you ask? I'm just telling you what that hellish woman said.
Yeah. Okay.
Kevin said, well, maybe if the price of eggs go down at the grocery stores, rent, maybe we might live independently on our own, but we can't because everything is so high. I agree with that. My baby she lives in Atlanta. She pays $1,600 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't that crazy? So I get what you all are saying, but you still have to instill, I don't care how much money you have, when your kids are younger, you have to instill in them that this is me and your mama's money. You got to create your own. And I think it's a wonderful thing when a parent can have the money to go out and buy their kids a condo to help them. I'm not saying that they have to, hustle, but they should get good grades, go to school to be able to stand on their own. Now you standing on your own. I ain't gonna make life hard for you. I'm gonna get you a condo. That's good. Like I remember reading when Mitt Romney, the guy who ran for president, when he and his wife got pregnant, I don't know if it was his family or her family gifted them a 6-bedroom house. See, when you do the right thing and he finished school, his wife had finished school, then your parents should help you. But you can't help them to the point of dependency. And you'll create lazy kids. When I watch that scene, I think it's great that they could be able to Married to Medicine, buy their kids a condo, but they are going to make terrible husbands.
Not necessarily.
They would make.
Look at Montique. Montique is like,
Like, these are lazy kids. You create lazy kids. Candace ain't like that. Girls don't always tend to be like that. But Candace wasn't like that. Her parents had some money. Candace was, she wasn't sitting around eating bonbons. She went to school. She married poorly, but she
married for love.
She married poorly.
I ain't saying nothing. I'm just listening to y'all.
Because that's also a bad thing. You don't want to deal with have generational wealth and match up with somebody that can't even meet your fly. I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with. Of course, it's okay to marry for love, but you want to marry with your head and your heart. Now you don't want to marry no trailer trash. That's what she married.
She married for bad or good.
Y'all are so bad.
But Chris, don't get me started. I like them as a couple. I don't care if he's when Joy, you jokingly said the next time you're going to marry for money. If you met your husband in another life, you would fall in love with him all over again, whether he was rich or not. That's what I think.
Okay.
It's not financials.
Okay. All right. Kevin said, I have a question. Do you think Brit boyfriend, that's her husband, on a DL? I have no idea. I hear people saying that. I hear people saying that. I don't. But my daughter,
no, I don't think he is.
That they're in a business arrangement. She said she is still tripping off of when she says, "Well, I love you, baby," and he says, "Love is important."
Are y'all serious?
She can't.
That was very funny.
He was like, "Love is important."
That was very funny. I was cracking up. I don't think he's down low.
Yes, I'm talking about Chris with the brown. Yeah.
I don't think that he's on the DL. Something is, I don't know what it is, but I don't think that's it. He's different.
I also think that these men at this point have all know that what happens when men who join reality shows, they know what happens.
Yeah.
Their names and their reputation get thrown in the mud. And so I don't think a lot of men want to deal with this, but their wives probably beg them. And Angela did say that about Charles, by the way, that he doesn't want to be bothered with this show, but he's trying to support her.
He has a temper problem. Have y'all seen the clip going? Yes. Have y'all seen there's a clip going around where he was at a basketball game for like 5 minutes?
That's what she's talking about. That's what she said the reason why they broke up.
Who?
Charles.
Who said?
Okay, so the incident that you're talking about is the incident that she said in the first or the second episode that she and Charles separated, not the fact that he had a baby on her.
So you're saying she said they separated because of his attitude or because of that fight?
Because of that fight.
Why would that? Okay.
Was y'all not paying attention? That's what we were saying. Why would that separate y'all? It was that baby.
I guess I wasn't, because why would that separate them?
Yeah.
What?
That's what she was talking about. She even showed clippings from it.
Really?
Yes. How y'all know?
I didn't watch it, so I'm just, y'all know I'm
that
not
was
watching.
one of the episodes. They even showed like headline clippings of it. So we know
I don't pay that much attention to her.
Yeah. That was like
But
on her first, it may have been the second episode, but it was like the opening scene of her talking about her and her husband.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I don't.
But anyway, that was this episode. We gonna see how the episodes fly, how they pan out. I don't know, but I think we're gonna leave it at there.
Okay, I enjoyed y'all.
She like, I ain't watched the show in a month, but look, I'm here. Okay.
I know I had fun with y'all.
Exactly.
But
Okay, well, yeah, I guess that was it. I think I'll turn on Carlos King now and see what he got to say about it.
yeah,
Yeah, let me know. I mean, I hate that for Kenya.
I do too. I hate that she went out on a with a nobody.
Me too.
That's my thing. This wasn't Nene and her, and she just wanted to do a big kaboo for Nene. I would get that, but not for some girl that we gonna forget her name in a couple of years. Because I
just hope she saved her paychecks, the ones that she ain't having to work for, because
they don't make a lot of money. They first episode anyway.
Well, I ain't talking about Brittany. I'm talking about Kenya. She's making $80,000 an episode, even though she's not there. I hope she saves it just in case this salon really doesn't.
I don't think she's getting paid for episodes she's not in.
They said she literally. I'd have to try and find the clip. She is absolutely getting paid $80,000 to $90,000 an episode. Yes,
but they only guarantee so many episodes.
The conversation was. The conversation, it was on Cheryl's World. Okay. So the conversation was basically, that's why she's still getting paid, because Kenya has enough information to where if she wanted to try and sue them, she could, because of where she got her information from.
Okay.
So it sounds like it's possibly the producers that have given her extra information, and they are absolutely still paying her from what has been reported.
They probably are. For a certain amount of episodes. If I learn nothing from Monique, and why Nene would quit, why she didn't come that last season, is that they're guaranteeing you so many episodes every season. That's what your contract has, and that's what they're obligated to pay you, not past that. That's why Monique claims she didn't come back, because her episodes guarantee was low. And while Nene did have I'm assuming more, but it's not the full season, because they don't really know how many episodes they're going to make. It's based off of what they give. Like back in the day when they would have like 20 and 22 episodes, those days are gone. So if on average, they're being about 15 or 16 episodes, maybe 17. So they may guarantee them 10 episodes. And that's guaranteed. So she may be getting paid for the next 5. Whatever that number was, but they don't pay them for the season anymore. That doesn't exist. That's the reason why Nene didn't come back, because Nene wanted a guaranteed salary. And they wouldn't give it to her. And they kept negotiating and negotiating. That's what her contract was about. And they don't offer those anymore. And every other housewife had kind of acquiesced to that, but Nene.
Okay. And one other thing before we hang up, I just thought about, I need for you guys to go out and send some support to Ashley Darby, because she's still getting ripped apart. She's still getting ripped apart for her musical career right now. Okay. So her Fox 5 version. Yeah, so she heard how bad people thought her Fox 5 was. So the next day, she did it again. She felt that it was better. And then she added Gloria Gaynor to her music. And so thank you guys for supporting her and listening. Did y'all love it? Or y'all getting tickets when she comes to your town?
No.
Joy, go ahead and admit it. Joy said no.
Y'all ain't right.
All right, y'all. So, all right, y'all. That ends this episode. Coffee love my ass. That's what Kevin say. Look,
that's awful.
Just terrible. She sound worse than karaoke night. Like she can't hold.
I was a young boy. She was off the tracks. I was like, okay, Ashley, listen, but that girl is not listen. Her and Sweet Tea's husband need to make a duet. That would just be off
Y'all
the
better
charts.
stop it.
You know what I'm
Because he
saying?
did
Get
a
them
song.
together,
What
put them
was
in the
this song
studio.
about, honey?
It was about getting rid of the bull crap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
Yeah.
accuse me of being no liar.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, Scott Metcalf, rapper Scott was in the back taking notes. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
All
All
right, I'm
right,
done.
y'all.
all right.
All right,
I'm
y'all.
done.
Peace out, y'all.
Y'all
All
be
right, I'll see you
good.
next week.
All right.
All right.